have a seat and clear the central aisle. All the guests are requested to please take a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, respected faculty, staff, alumni, students of NIT Calicut, and our distinguished guest, good morning to all. On behalf of the organizing team, I, Dr. Shraddha, along with my colleagues, Architect Ritesh and Dr. Arjun, are truly honored to welcome everyone to the 65th Foundation Day celebrations of NIT Calicut. Your gracious presence makes this occasion truly meaningful. Let us begin this auspicious day by seeking the blessings of the Almighty. May I request Ms. Anamika Raj from the Department of Electrical Engineering to lead the prayer. I also request everyone in the audience to kindly rise for the invocation.
मैत्रीं भजता अखिलहृदयत्री मैत्रीं भजता अखिलहृदयत्री आत्मवदेव परात्परम् युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेष्वक्रममाक्रमणं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृदयित्री मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृदयित्री.
Thank you, Anamika. Now I have the honor of inviting our esteemed dignitaries to the dais. May I request the dignitaries, our chief guest, Dr. Duveri Sheshagri, guest of honor, Mr. Shailesh Shetty, and Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya, Director, NIT Calicut, Professor Prasad Krishna, Registrar in charge, Dr. M.S. Sunita, and Chairperson of C Prime, Dr. Preeti Navneet, to kindly come forward and take their seats on the dais. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. To extend a warm welcome to this gathering, I now invite Dr. Preeti Navneet, Chairperson of C Prime.
Distinguished members on the dais, esteemed guests, members of the audience, friends, colleagues, alumni, the entire NITC fraternity, a very pleasant morning to all. I am truly honored to welcome you to the 65th Foundation Day of the National Institute of Technology, Calicut. As we celebrate the legacy of this institute, we also affirm the values NITC upholds and its commitments to the noble motto, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, lead me from darkness to light. We are privileged to be graced on this occasion by the presence of our chief guest, Dr. Duveri Sheshagiri, an eminent scientist and technologist of national stature who has made outstanding contributions to India's defense research and naval system. His pioneering leadership in development of sonar technologies for naval platforms and his role in advancing the country's first indigenous active phased array radar, Uttam, stands as enduring milestones in strengthening India's scientific and strategic self-reliance. Welcome you, sir. It gives us immense joy to welcome our chief guest of honor, Mr. Shailesh Shetty, a proud alumnus of this institution and an accomplished industry leader. His distinguished career in global automobile sector marked by innovation, leadership, and operational excellence has brought great pride to his alma mater and continues to inspire our present and future generations of students. We welcome you, sir. We are equally honored by the presence of our guest of honor, Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya of the Chinmaya Mission, whose dedicated work in youth development, value-based education, and dissemination of Vedantic wisdom reminds us of timeless truth that education must nurture character and values as much as it imparts knowledge and skills. We welcome you, madam. It is also my privilege to welcome the president of today's function, Professor Prasad Krishna, director of NIT Calicut. Under his dynamic leadership, the institute has witnessed remarkable progress in academics, cutting-edge research, global collaborations, and national outreach. His vision has enabled NIT Calicut to establish new centers of excellence, strengthen international partnership, and expand its role in addressing pressing societal changes. Professor Krishna's unwavering commitment to student welfare, faculty development, and institutional growth continues to inspire NITC community to steer institute towards greater national and global prominence. We welcome you, sir. I also warmly welcome our registrar in charge, Professor M.S. Sunita, whose steadfast support and efficient administration ensures the smooth and effective functioning of our campus and all its endeavors. A very special welcome is extended to Ms. Soumya Keshavrao. She'll join us shortly, granddaughter of revered Professor M.V. Keshavrao, in whose honor the foundation lecture is instituted, and to Mr. K. Mohanan, senior official of NPOL, who is joining us. Your valuable contributions are truly honorable, sir. We are glad all the representatives, we are glad to welcome all the representatives of our alumni community, in particular, Mr. Ranjit Isaac, Joint Secretary of NITCA, symbolizing lasting bond between the Institute and its global alumni. On this occasion, I also warmly welcome members of NITC community who are receiving their Silver Jubilee Felicitation, student achievers, the elders of the NITC family who are being honored today. Finally, to all faculty members, staff, student collaborators, their families, well-wishers who have gathered here, I extend my heartfelt welcome. Your presence adds joy and meaning to this celebration. As we observe the 65th Foundation Day with the theme, Quantum Leap, Infinite Possibilities, let us take pride in our past, celebrate the present, and look forward to the future with confidence and hope. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for extending a warm welcome to our guests and the audience. May I now request the dignitaries on the dais to join in lighting the ceremonial lamp, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. We request the audience to please rise.
NIT Calicut has been consistently scaling new heights of excellence across diverse domains every year. And it's my privilege to invite our Honorable Director, Professor Prasad Krishna, to present the State of the Institute address. Over to you, sir.
Honorable dignitaries of the day, Dr. Duvuri Sheshagiri Garu, Director, Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, Kochi, Dr. K. Mohanan, Scientist and Director, Management, NPOL, Kochi, Sri Shailesh Shetty, NITC alumnus. He belongs to the 1985 Mechanical RAC Calicut, former Chief Operating Officer of Kirloskar Systems, and Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya of the Chinmaya Mission, respected CREC, NITC elders, faculty, colleagues, staff members, students and guests, friends from the media, namaste to all. It gives me immense pride and deep humility to stand before you on this historic occasion, the 65th Foundation Day of the National Institute of Technology, Calicut. Every Foundation Day is a moment of reflection, of gratitude, and of renewed vision. But today's celebration carries a special resonance. Not only do we mark 65 years of this great institution, but we do so in a year that the United Nations has declared the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology. The theme we have chosen for this year's Foundation Day, Quantum Leaps, Infinite Possibilities. is therefore both timely and symbolic. It reminds us that our journey, much like the quantum world itself, has never been linear but filled with leaps of faith, leaps of knowledge, and leaps of imagination. For those who are spiritual aspirant, it has a deeper meaning when you talk about these infinite possibilities. When Calicut Engineering College was founded in 1961, housed in modest classrooms of the Polytechnic College at West Hill, perhaps our founders could not have imagined the heights we could scale. The first principal, the late Professor M.V. Keshava Rao, and visionary leaders like Pattam A. Thanupillai, the then Chief Minister of Kerala, who laid the foundation stone, saw only the first faint outlines of what has since become one of India's premier centers of technical education and research. Today, on our verdant 120-hectare campus, nearly 8,000 students from across the nation and beyond are engaged in learning, discovery, and innovation. We stand tall as an institute of national importance, recognized for our contributions not only to engineering and science, but also to society and nation building. As we gather here today, I am reminded of Isaac Newton's timeless words, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." The legacy of NIT Calicut is built on the shoulders of those who came before us, the pioneering faculty who shaped the early years, the dedicated staff who sustained the institution through challenging times, the alumni who carried its name with pride across the world, and the countless students whose energy and creativity have been the true heartbeat of this campus. Every building, every laboratory, every festival, and every achievement tells a story of the dreams and sacrifices of generations who believed in this institution's potential. Foundation Day is not only an opportunity to take stock of our achievements over the past year, but also a moment to bow in gratitude to the visionaries who charted this course. We recall with reverence the founding generation that nurtured this institution with scarce resources but boundless vision. We honor the faculty and staff whose tireless service created an academic culture that continues to thrive. And we celebrate the students and alumni whose accomplishments embody the excellence of NIT Calicut in every corner of the world. The academic year 2024-25 has been a period of remarkable milestones and meaningful progress. NIT Calicut continued to strengthen its standing among India's leading institutions of higher education. In the National Institutional Ranking Framework 2024, we are proud to secure 25th position in the engineering stream. Our Department of Architecture, a jewel in our crown, was ranked third in the country, reaffirming our leadership in shaping the built environment of the future. Our commitment to quality education was once again validated by the National Board of Accreditation, which granted the maximum permissible 6-year accreditation to 8 undergraduate and 9 postgraduate programs. This recognition is not just a certificate, but a testament to the rigor, innovation, and relevance of our curriculum. It speaks of the caliber of our students, the dedication of our faculty, and the alignment of our programs with the needs of a rapidly changing world. The breadth of our academic offering today includes 13 undergraduate programs, 33 postgraduate programs, and comprehensive doctoral research across engineering, science, technology, management, education, and the humanities. In the past 5 years alone, we have graduated more than 5,000 undergraduates, nearly 3,000 postgraduates, and over 460 doctoral scholars. Each of these graduates carries with them not merely a degree, but the NITC spirit, the spirit of curiosity, resilience, and responsibility. What makes a student body truly inspiring is its diversity, with representation from almost every state and union territory of India, and with 31% female enrollment. NIT Calicut is a living embodiment of inclusive education. This diversity enriches our classrooms, our hostels, and our cultural life, preparing our students for leadership in an interconnected and pluralistic world. Our research ecosystem continues to thrive. NIT Calicut is presently managing over 47 sponsored projects with cumulative funding of more than 140 crores, including 25 crores secured in the past year. Major support comes from agencies such as the Department of Science and Technology, now it is called the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, DRDO, ISRO, and CSIR. Flagship initiatives highlight our growing impact. The Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence for Sustainable Cities, launched under the Samudra Initiative with IIT Kanpur, advances scalable urban technologies. The 250 crore Center of Excellence in Urban Planning and Design, funded by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, places at the forefront of India's urban transformation. We are the only NIT selected for this prestigious UE in urban planning and design. Likewise, our Center of Excellence in the Blue Economy and Coastal Resilience addresses the nation's maritime future. Our 21 multidisciplinary research centers spanning climate resilience, disaster management, clean energy, circular economy, advanced materials form a vibrant collaborative ecosystem. This year, our scholars produce over 8,400 publications, attracting more than 1 lakh citations and raising our institutional H index to 114. With over 130 patents granted, many licensed to industry, our research continues to shape real-world applications. Recent innovations include a wideband nephelometer for environmental monitoring, a deck power supply for remote-operated vehicles, automated histopathology machines for affordable healthcare, and agricultural drones with soil sensors for precision farming. These breakthroughs reflect our resolve to address pressing challenges in sustainability, healthcare, agriculture, and industry. In recognition of our expanding role in national research infrastructure, NIT Calicut has been designated India's first iSTEM Catalyst Center, supported by the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor. This initiative will democratize access to advanced R&D facilities, promote industry academia startup collaboration, and encourage grassroots innovation. The year gone by has also been marked by unprecedented growth in our global engagements. NIT Calicut has formalized more than 50 memoranda of understanding with leading universities and institutions across the world, including the University of Central Florida, the University of Texas, Michigan Tech University, the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, NTNU, and TU Delft in the Netherlands. These partnerships have enabled joint and dual degree programs, collaborative research, and exchange opportunities that bring the world to our campus and take NIT Calicut to the world. We have successfully launched dual doctoral and master's program, giving our students pathways to earn globally recognized qualification while participating in collaborative research. our membership in international network such as the EU-India Heritage Network and the Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute have further enhanced our global research. Closer to home, we have strengthened collaboration with IIT Madras, IIT Hyderabad, and other national institutions, enabling joint research initiatives, faculty exchanges, and shared programs. These collaborations leverage collective strength and foster synergies that benefit all stakeholders. Education at NIT Calicut is not limited to academic instruction. It is an experience that shapes well-rounded individuals ready to lead in diverse spheres. Our vibrant student community engages in a rich tapestry of technical, cultural, and sporting activities. Teams like Unwired and Aero Unwired continue to push boundaries in formula design and aeronautics, while Robotics Interest Group showcases ingenuity at national and international competitions. Professional chapters like IEEE and ISTE connect students to global knowledge networks. Cultural platforms remain equally strong. Literary and debating societies, dance and dramatics club, Speak McKay, and music ensembles ensure that the arts continue to thrive alongside engineering and science. Festivals such as Ragam, Tattva, and Adizia have become nationally recognized celebrations of talent and creativity, attracting participants from across the country. Sports remain an integral part of campus life. Our athletes have completed at state and national levels, supported by a newly inaugurated gymnasium, a modernized swimming pool, and soon a professional football stadium with an athletic track. We believe that physical wellness is inseparable from academic and professional success. Student guidance cell continues to play a crucial role in ensuring mental and emotional well-being, while professional development programs equip our students with employability skills, leadership qualities, and industry readiness. Our hostels, 14 in number, including the Mega Hostel 2, with capacity for 3,000 students, create communities where students learn, live, and grow together. These shared experiences often become the foundation for lifelong friendships and networks. In a year of global economic challenges, NIT Calicut has once again demonstrated resilience and adaptability in placements. For the fourth consecutive year, we achieved more than 1,000 successful placements. Over 85% of our undergraduates and 84% of our postgraduates secured employment with average compensation packages of 14.36 lakhs and 12.41 lakhs respectively. More than 300 companies visited our campus, including global technology leaders such as Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, financial giants like Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, consulting firms such as McKinsey, and leading public sector enterprises. This wide range of recruiters is a reflection of the versatility and caliber of our graduates. Industry partnerships extend far beyond recruitment. Long-term collaboration with companies like Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, L&T, and Reliance provide students with internships, live projects, and mentorship. Corporate advisory boards help shape curriculum, research focus, and skill development programs. Together, these engagements ensure that NIT Calicut graduates are not only employable, but also industry-ready from day one. Our role as Institute of National Importance is inseparable from our responsibility to the nation. This year, we continue to lead in implementing the National Education Policy 2020 through curriculum innovation, the Academic Bank of Credits, and the integration of Indian knowledge systems. We hosted the National Conclave on NEP 2020 for central and state universities, reaffirming our thought leadership in education policy. Through Ek Bharat, Shreshth Bharat, My Bharat, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, we fostered cultural unity, inclusive development, and rural engagement. Our NSS volunteers played vital roles in relief and rehabilitation during the Wayanad floods, embodying the true spirit of service. Outreach programs like Disha have inspired over 300 aspiring engineers, while the Vigyan Jyoti scheme has specifically empowered girl students in STEM, advancing gender equity. Our consultancy services continue to generate solutions for government agencies, PSUs, and private organizations. Over 150 projects have been completed, spanning infrastructure, environment, manufacturing, and digital transformation. These initiatives not only generate revenue, but also strengthen India's development agenda. As we celebrate 65 years of NIT Calicut, we must ask, what does the future hold? The theme of this year's Foundation Day gives us the answer. Like the quantum world, our future is not defined by linear progression, but by transformative leaps. The infinite possibilities before us call for imagination, courage, and collective resolve. Our Vision 2030 envisions NIT Calicut as a truly multidisciplinary, research-intensive university. You may recall under the NEP policy document, there is a term called MERU. MERU stands for Multidisciplinary Education and Research University. We hope and pray that by 2030, this NIT Calicut will be a multidisciplinary education and research university. Dissolves boundaries between engineering, sciences, humanities, and management. We are preparing to launch programs in frontiers like quantum computing, biotechnology, climate engineering, space science, and digital health. Artificial intelligence will be integrated across disciplines, transforming research and pedagogy alike. Sustainability remains central to our vision. By 2030, NIT Calicut will be a carbon-neutral campus with renewable energy, green buildings, sustainable mobility, and circular economy practices. Our campus will function as a living laboratory of sustainable solutions, scalable and replicable across the world. Internationalization will accelerate with plans to establish overseas campuses and collaborative research centers. Digital transformation will reshape not just our administration, but also our learning system through AI-driven personalized education and virtual reality-based pedagogy. The upcoming Research and Innovation Park, in fact, we are expecting the ADB grant to the tune of 700 crores to establish state-of-the-art Research and Innovation Park. The upcoming Research and Innovation Park will bring academia, industry, and society together in one ecosystem of co-creation. In short, the vision for NIT Calicut is bold, to be a crucible where quantum leaps in knowledge lead to infinite possibilities for society. Dear colleagues, students, alumni, and friends of NIT Calicut, as we celebrate our 65th Foundation Day, let us take pride in how far we have come, but also remind ourselves of how much further we can go. Our true strength lies not only in our achievements, but in our unity of purpose. As Rabindranath Tagore reminded us, the highest education is that which does not merely gives us information, but makes our life in harmony with all existence. Education must therefore cultivate humility, compassion, and a sense of service. Even as we scale new heights, let us remain grounded in human values, driven by the desire to contribute and united in vision. The story of NIT Calicut is far from complete. It will be written in the dreams of the students who arrive here tomorrow, in the discoveries of our researchers, in the wisdom of our teachers, in the achievements of our alumni, and in the impact we make on society. Together, let us continue to make bold quantum leaps, opening infinite possibilities for India and the world. On this Foundation Day, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable President of India, our visitor, to the Ministry of Education, to our Board of Governors, to our faculty and staff, to our alumni, and the families who support our students. May NIT Calicut march forward with confidence and vision as a beacon of education, research, and innovation in the service of a Vigasit Bharat. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and giving a detailed reflection on the state of our institute and leading NIT Calicut towards greater achievements.
In keeping with the tradition, we are now moving to the Dr. M.V. Keshavarao Foundation Day Memorial Lecture. To know more about Dr. M.V. Keshavarao, let's hear to an audio message from his youngest daughter, Ms. Shaija Krishnamurthy.
Father on this happy occasion. And hi everyone, I feel so nice to interact with all of you. I am Shailaja Krishnamurthy, second daughter of Manikama and Dr. M.V. Keshavarao. We shifted from Trivandrum to Calicut a few years before the college building came up. We stayed in the city and made several visits before the college main buildings, labs, hostels, etc. were built and machinery and equipments were installed. My sister Nalini and I sang the prayer song on the foundation laying ceremony. The principal's bungalow was just opposite the main college, and my father would always walk up every morning, afternoon and evening. He was very fond of teaching, and in order to keep in touch with students, he handled a few lecture classes to electrical students apart from administrative duties. Our stay in Chathamangalam was extremely memorable. We had a nice, well-maintained garden, and my mother took special interest in gardening. We had a badminton court set up by the side of the house and would always play as a family in the evenings. My father was a very lovable person, but very strict and straightforward at the same time. He never would entertain any official visitors coming home, but would always oblige by meeting them at the office. Mother would always interact with students, particularly Hindi-speaking students who had come from faraway places. I was attending the Providence Women's College in Malappuramba, I think that is how it is pronounced, Carmel Hill, Kozhikode, and would go in the engineering college bus, which would go all the way to the city to pick up children, and I was the last to be dropped off. Later, I married and shifted to Madras. I always cherished the days I spent in Chathamangalam for its calmness and beautiful surroundings. I would dare say it was one of my finest periods in my lifetime.
we are honored to welcome Dr. Duvuri Sheshagiri, scientist and director of the Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, DRDO Kochi. Dr. Duvuri Sheshagiri is at the helm of India's cutting-edge sonar projects for submarines, ships, and aircraft. During his time at LRD Bangalore, he played a pioneering role in developing India's first indigenous active phased array radar, LSTAR, and led the project for Uttam, the radar that powers our Tejas light combat aircraft, making India self-reliant in airborne radar technology. With over 40 research publications and prestigious awards, including Scientist of the Year, Dr. Sheshagiri is a true force behind India's defense innovations. Sir, we are honored to have you with us today, and I invite you to deliver the Dr. M.V. Keshavarao Foundation Day Memorial Lecture. Over to you, sir.
I am humbled in the presence of so many luminaries here, distinguished alumni, retired alumni like Professor Nambudripat, Professor who was, I'm Sridharan, who was, whom I met just in the morning. On the dais, Professor Prasad Krishna, the director of this prestigious institution, whom I followed both at DRDO and IIT Madras, as I understand the morning conversation. Brahmacharini Disha, Disha Chaitanya of Chinmaya Mission. The Advaita Vedanta is, of course, founded, or one of the luminaries of Advaita Vedanta happens to be from Kaladi. My friend Mohanan is here from Kaladi, from both Kaladi and NPOL. And Sailesh Shetty ji, alumnus of NITC and former CEO of Kirloskar. Dr. Preeti, madam, who was kind enough to come and meet us in the evening yesterday, and the registrar, madam, Sunita, madam. The students who are lucky to be here, such a verdant campus. In the morning I was seeing it was like a natural and evergreen forest. It is, I mean, you are so lucky to be here and also to read under such great professors that you have here. A very good morning to all of you on the Foundation Day function. And I am honored to give the lecture of the Foundation Day, Kesavarao Memorial Foundation Day lecture, when Srimati Soumya Kesavarao, the granddaughter of Professor Kesavarao, is here. It's my privilege, madam, to be here speaking in front of you. Who is the founding father? I know when you start an institution, whatever size it is, be it small, be it big, how many sacrifices the family and the person has to do to bring up the institution. Because we are also, you know, I have seen from my own eyes, in front of my own eyes, how such institutions have been built by luminaries, like in our case, be it Kalam, be it Dr. Saraswat or many others. It was such, you know, such a great privilege to be here talking in front of you, madam. Today I'm going to talk a little about disruptive technologies, and I understand that the year's theme is Quantum Leaps, Infinite Possibilities. Quantum leap, I think, has immediate consequence or immediate connection with disruptive technologies, because disruptive technologies always come as quantum leaps. For example, the Wien's law was pushed away by Planck, Max Planck, when he found out the quanta of energy. I think it is known as E is equal to h nu, as I remember, because a long time back we read that. But a little we use it in radars also, which I am going to talk today a little. The first radar which I have worked with is a Israeli radar called Swordfish. And most of the technologies in radar today that we have were derived from that Swordfish radar. So, in fact, the designer of the radar, who happens to be a very close friend of mine, was the designer of the Iron Dome of Israel, which was the reason why Israel is still existing today. So such great people which I was privileged to work with, I remember them today. Next slide, please. Someone famously said, common sense is not common. Common sense is very uncommon. I think it is Voltaire. It is really true, as you can see in the cartoon there. Whereas it is written pull, so that he has to pull to open the door, invariably we push it. So this is how we generally work. We never use our common sense. And generally all disruptive technologies, whatever I have seen at least, they have a very simple, commonsensical background behind. And I will show you some of them as we go forward. Next slide, please. I can use this. You can see disruptive technologies happen everywhere, in all walks of our life. One of them is shown here in this picture, a very famous one. How a particular morning in New York City looked like with a lot of horse-drawn carriages in 1900, and one car which is circled red. And about a decade later, you can see at the same place, there was one horse-drawn carriage and the rest of all were motor cars. That's a disruptive technology, because in little over a decade, you can see that there are no motor cars that are, from no motor cars to no horse-drawn carriages in just a decade. That we have also seen in all walks of our life. As I remember, when I was a kid, my father was in railways. We used to have a phone which was a magnetophone, if you remember those devices which you have to rotate. It is a point-to-point communication. Down the line, when I joined MTech and came back, we had STD phones everywhere in the early 90s. It was it pushed off all the old communication of the manual boards, and automatic boards have come, and we suddenly have phone in every house. Earlier it was, there was a famous, own your phone, which was a privileged lot which used to get the phone. Now it is ubiquitous. Everywhere, everyone has a phone. It was in the 90s. Come 2000s, the phone, now I don't think anyone has a landline connection anymore. All of us have mobile phones. And the mobile phones are also now replaced by, touch phones or those iPhones. This is how, in this sector of communication, the disruptive technologies have happened. Next slide. This is one more famous example. In about 2000, around that time, one of my friends, he was going to US, and those days it was, a fad to have a SLR camera. And I purchased one SLR camera with a reel. By the time the camera came to me, within 2 years, the reel became obsolete. I didn't know where to buy a reel from. Kodak, which was such a big company, no longer exists. And the phone became the ubiquitous device, all omniscient device where you can use it for even photography, you're reading books, and everything. That's how a charge-coupled device, which when I was in Madras, my friends were working on charge-coupled device, I used to model for them. Those days I was a little handsome. So I used to model for them. Suddenly they are no more there. The third example I have taken is about the computers. If you have read Feynman's You Should Be Surely Joking, Mr. Feynman, one of the greatest books I have ever read. It says that when they were doing this Manhattan project, they were working on how to do deck cards. Anyone have, sir would know how a deck of cards used to be used to make a program work. That was the IBM era. down came the mini computer of the DEC, or the alpha computer, what we call as, I don't remember the name, PDC or 11 by 700 or something like that, which came and completely removed the mainframes. And then the PCs, and today we have a mobile phone again, which is much more powerful than any one of those machines. Next slide. So also with the music technology. The first one is not shown here is a gramophone. A gramophone is a very complex technology. It was invented by Thomas Alva Edison. And down the line, as you see, I remember in the 70s and 80s, we used to have a cassette recorder. And by 2000s, we had CDs and iPods. Now we have again, we don't use any one of them but the mobile phone to listen to songs. Again, a disruptive technology. Next slide, please. I was reading about the storage. When I started my career, or most of us who are at my age, you remember that we used to have an 8-inch floppy. A huge floppy with about less than 300 KB of memory. Down came the 5.5 inch, then the 3.5, or 5.25 and 3.5, and each one disrupted the previous technology and moved away from that. Now we have a cloud-based memory where no individual memory, the phones can have very little memory to have with, and most of us depend on the cloud. Again, a disruptive technology. So also in the engines, we had the IC engine which powered us for about 100 years. Came the electrical engine. Now it is going on, but I think the days of electrical engine also are numbered. We are going towards hydrogen fuel cell, especially in the submarines where hydrogen fuel cell along with the nuclear is going to play the major role. And they are going to remove all the internal combustion and diesel engines that are in the today's submarines. Now, what is a disruptive technology? I don't have to tell that the disruptive technology is what is something which, with a small quantum leap, which is inferior in its performance, suddenly replaces a superior technology just because it has some advantages. Next slide. And this curve shows how the disruptive technology actually replaces a previous technology which is coming in the next slide. But to show you, 1 minute, to show you that the red curve is where the performance of innovation, means how many sales are there over the R&D effort, and you can see that it has a saturation point coming towards the end. And if you see the usage, how many members are added, of course it is the differential of the first curve. So it is like a Gaussian, and the laggards or the late joiners are the ones who last use the technology when it becomes obsolete. I was one of them when I purchased the SLR camera. Next slide. So now, is disruptive technology completely going to change something, or it is going to bring an end to some of the technologies that we use? No. Actually, if you see this curve, each of the curve is actually attached to another curve, a new innovation that is going to come, which is going to replace the existing technology. And the new innovation always is a simpler technology. Any equation in physics, as you know, the famous equation like of motion, F is equal to ma is a simple equation, or E is equal to mc square is a simple equation, h nu is a simple equation. In radars, the simpler equations are always the ones which work well. Similarly, here too, a simpler technology generally replaces a mature technology and pushes it away so that it becomes the de facto market leader. And here there are two terms that are used in industry, the blue ocean and the red ocean. In the blue ocean, industries look for something new and they create new markets. And in the red ocean, red means blood, they are like sharks in a very small pond, each industry trying to grab a small piece of what others have. And in the bargain, the amount of profits each one is going to earn is going to diminish. And that is why disruption is so very necessary in any industry, because it gives more space. as Nazis would have said, Lebensraum or living space. Next slide. And as sir is a mechanical engineer, now 3D printing is what is pervading across all the mechanical engineering industry. And I understand, including the Dreamliner, which has most of its parts actually were 3D printed. Sir was from GTRA, as I understand, which was trying to make a gas turbine engine, though now it is making some few engines, especially for the missiles. But in the coming days, there is a huge program that is going to start, sir, with 65,000 crores to make an indigenous engine, because that is one place where we have been lagging. And DRDO is taking steps to, surmount this one last technological challenge for fighter aircraft. So in this also, there is a lot of 3D printing that has been used and is going to be used in the GTRE's engines in the coming days. Next slide. So there is a great philosopher, anthropologist, a prehistorian by the name Gordon Childe, who said that the technology actually is what drives civilization. First rule, he says that early tools that the primitive man has developed has reduced the physical labor, and today the same thing is happening with ChatGPT. Most of the programs you write, you can take from ChatGPT and copy it and do your programming. That's how it is going to, ChatGPT is one of such AI tools. Similarly also is robotics and its usage in multiple fields, including surgery. Urbanization and smart cities. Now, urbanization or the sustainable infrastructure is one more term coined by Gordon Childe, which says that along with civilization comes urbanization, because civilization and urbanization are more or less same terms. So today we have smart cities integrated with the AI and IoT, and that is going to be what is going to dictate our tomorrow. Social change and digital economy. No one can talk about in a better term than India today about digital economy, because I think about 50% of world's digital economy happens in India. In a small village, even if I'm from a village, I go to a village with, let's say, 100 odd hutments. You see that digital economy is thriving even in such small villages. Such is the prevalence of digital economy today. And that is, of course, a social change. Now, as what's his name, Yuval Noah Harari, he said in his book that money has no value than what you give it, because it is just a piece of paper. Same thing is now the paper is also lost. It is only in the minds of someone or in some computer what money is. There is no money per se. That is what we are today. Because what I have in my pocket, none of you carry paper currency. I hope today's generation, none of you carry paper currency. At least we were the last generation to have paper currency. And you all are using and are going to use your mobile phones to do all the transactions. That is what is the disruptive changes that are happening in society today, and we are all witnessing to it. Next slide. And I'm going to talk a little about the development that we have been participating in. And if time permits, because let me see the time, sir. Oh, it's already 10. I'm already pushing. You have to be at a space at a time to work in a project. It should be, most of you are today in such a space and time where the time gives you a chance to do something new. You have to utilize it. And utilizing it actually is what is genius. And what is genius? Someone said a very small percentage of inspiration, about 1%, and rest 99% perspiration or hard work. And hard work is nothing but concentration. That reminds me of a small story, again from Kaladi. As you are all aware, the greatest intellect this country has produced is none other than Shankara. There are, before him, Advaita was there. It is not that he is a founder or propounder of Advaita Vedanta, but he is a proponent par excellence of Advaita Vedanta. There are three canonical books that generally we look at from the Indian tradition. The Upanishads, which are the part of the Vedas, the Brahma Sutras, which interpret the Upanishads and written by Badarayana, about 555 aphorisms. And the third is the Bhagavad Gita. They are known as Sravana Manana and Nididhyasana Granthas, means those you read, like your text, whatever, those Sravana means those which are heard, like your professor teaches you in the class, you hear it. Go back to your room, and what you do? You ruminate, you read, you ruminate, and that is what is manana, you remember them. And finally, you internalize them, which is nididhyasana. Madam is going to talk about maybe a little later. But these are the three granthas, and they are Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana are the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita in the same order. And Shankara has written commentaries on all the three. And the best commentary, as we understand, is the commentary that he has written on the Brahma Sutras. And the best part of that is the introduction he has given to it, which is known as the Adhyasa Bhashya. One of the greatest pieces of work ever written by any human being. In fact, if you look at Western philosophy, you have one Immanuel Kant or one Heidegger, and generally they are all compared with Shankara. So such is the stature of Shankara in the world's philosophical literature or thinking. Now, on this Brahma Sutras, multiple people have further written commentaries. One was Vachaspati Misra, who has written a commentary called Bhamati. The other one, of course, is Prakasat Mehti, who has written the Vivarana. These two are two prasthanas, means two ways of looking at things. Now, this Bhamati Prasthana has a beautiful story of concentration. I want to narrate that story, and if possible, look at how we developed the primary radar of AWS after that. This Vachaspati Misra is from Bihar. He actually was that day getting married, and those days there used to be a goshti, post-marriage. Goshti means, go means anyhow cow, goshti means people who sit around, probably in a cow shed, and they speak, talk about esoteric things. And they were these Shadadarsanas, or the six ways of looking at things, which are the foundations of Indian culture, especially the Astika culture. So they were talking about, and Vachaspati Misra understands that they do not understand much. They do not understand the nuances of these six schools, and therefore he starts writing 6 Pramanika Granthas on these 6 schools. And at the end, he writes his most famous book, a commentary on the Brahma Sutras, on the commentary of Shankara. So that night, most of you would have heard this story, but for the younger lot, one night, he sees an old lady serving him food and asks her, "Who are you?" She says, "I am your wife." Then he says, "I am terribly sorry. I have not taken care of you of all these years, maybe this 20-25 years. And today we are old people. I cannot do anything to give back those 25 years, but however, I will make your name immortal. I will name this Brahma Sutra Bhashya of Shankara's commentary as Bhamati, which is her name. And today we have Bhamati, which is one of the more famous schools of Advaita philosophy, and that is about concentration. The concentration should be such for you to do anything which is original, which is disruptive, and probably most of them have similar concentration levels so that they are able to do such things. And I hope that you inculcate, because this is sadhana only, it is not an innate thing. This sadhana, if you do, you will also gain the same levels of concentration. Now coming to the disruptive technologies and innovations in airborne radars, this story anyhow was told to me by many people, and the best one was what I heard from Osho. If you see YouTube, you will get one of these stories what was narrated by Osho, and Osho is a very great speaker. Can you go to the slide, please? Yeah. Now, when we are taxonomically, radars are, give me 10 minutes to tell you what is a radar. Taxonomically, radars, they scan. You would have seen in a airport that there is one antenna which rotates, which gives the aircraft positions where they are. That's called a ATC radar, air traffic controller radar. And you see it's a mechanically scanned radar, means it rotates. Down the line came the disruptive technology of phased array radars. The radar is no longer rotating. The advantages of not rotating I will come a little later. But this became a disruptive technology. It again spawned into two pieces, a passive and an active. The passive has a single source. Most of you would be, if you have a microwave division here, some of you would are working on microwave tubes. One of such tubes is used for passive radars. And the second one is an active radar, which generally uses a solid state device, which is also bifurcated into semi-active and fully active based on whether each element is powered by one TR module or the source, or a group of elements are powered. So they are named as semi and fully active. Next slide, please. So the principle of operation of mechanically scanned radar is very simple. The eccentricity of a parabola is 1. So if you put some source at the focus, the output is a wavefront which is parallel to the one of the lines which is known as directrix. So they are perpendicular to the directrix, and they form a very straight face front, and therefore you can concentrate all the energies coming from one direction. That is called the directrix, is the principle how it works. Next slide. And famously, one Professor Eli Bruckner, whoever is in radar knows him, he has shown in one of his talks a donkey rotating the antenna along with it, and that's how a mechanically scanned array radar works. And that means it is donkey's ears bag. I mean, that's the pun that it is intended there, if you understand that. And the next slide. Down came the ESA radars, electronically scanned or agile beam radars, where you can track, search, and do whatever you want simultaneously. Now you want to track a ship, you want to track let us suppose one aircraft or one missile, you can do at the same time all of them. And some of them you want to intercept, you can get such accuracy what interception requires. Next slide. So the idea is simple. There are some phase shifters. When the phase shifters are all 0, the wave is going to the front at 0 degrees. With a certain phase shift, which is incremental, it goes in another direction. Means that with a simple electronic command, you can move a beam from a position θ1 to another position θ2 almost instantaneously. Now this gives great advantages which you can understand. Let us suppose there is one fighter aircraft going here which I want to intercept, another fighter aircraft going there also which I want to intercept. These two can happen simultaneously because you have electronical scanning. You see here at a moment, another moment you see there, and both of them you are tracking. Like this we can give intercept solutions to a score of targets, about 20-25 targets. And next. And the types of radars, as I was telling, if you have an independent power supply, it's known as active, otherwise it is known as passive. The passive uses the tubes, and the tube technology still exists in radars, but it is slowly becoming obsolete. And the solid state physics is going to become more and more prevalent in active phased array radars. And today, proud to say that India has better technology than comparatively equivalent radars like that of France and Israel. I do not know about America. Next slide. Next slide. So now I will come to airborne radars. That first part just gave you a small introduction of what is a phased array radar, which is an agile beam radar. Now, airborne radars are tad more difficult to make because you are competing with ground clutter. Now, the one radar which you all heard of is the Netra radar or the AWNC. If you hear about the Balakot exercise or the immediate Ops Sindur, one radar which has been used across is the AWNC. On that, which is an Embraer 145 aircraft, on that we have a S-band phased array radar, which I am going to talk about. And this radar, I was proud to be the designer and the project director. Next slide. And why do we require airborne radars? Because ground-based radars are pretty cheap. We only have to put it on there and it keeps working. Whereas airborne radars, you have to fly. And every hour of flying is almost, I don't know, it is very, very expensive. Maybe a few tens of lakhs per hour. But still you require, because a ground-based radar has a problem of line of sight. You remember in Balakot, Indian aircraft went, bombed and came back. Pakistani radars could not pick them up. Why? Because they were flying very low. They are hugging the terrain. Once you hug the terrain, because of the curvature of Earth, the line of sight is very limited and you cannot pick up a aircraft which is flying low. That's what has happened during the Balakot exercise. Now, to counter that, what they did, they have flown AWNCs. They have multiple AWNCs. They are from Saab, Ericsson radars. We also wanted to buy, but we did not. We developed our own. But these radars were mounted on, I do not remember the aircraft, maybe a Gulfstream aircraft, but they were used very effectively against our aircraft during Ops Sindur. Next slide. And the operation, okay, terrain masking, next slide. Yeah. So now you see that is the AWNC, which is on top of a Embraer 145 aircraft, and you can see that it is able to track multiple aircraft simultaneously by putting the beams on two aircrafts at the same time. Now the point is, the mountains and the LOS is no longer a problem. It can pick up targets. Added to it, it covers a huge geographical area, lakhs of square kilometers at one point of time, any point of time. Next slide. And how it operates, it picks up a target. It sends the information to a satellite. There is a SATCOM on top of the aircraft. From there, the information is sent down to a ground exploitation center station, which is connected to the ISECS, which is the command control node of Indian Air Force, where all the information, all the aircrafts flying will be known and the intercept solutions will be found from such nodes which are at secret locations across the country. Next slide. So this was the radar. Then we started developing what you see on top as the black antenna. Next one button. It is a, I'm sorry, it is yellow in color, so not very visible, but it is India's first fully active phased array radar with very long range, extremely good accuracies, almost like 0.5 milrad. A milrad, you know, is 1/20th of a degree approximately. So 1/40th of a degree, that is the sort of accuracy it can give. Next slide. It is, as I was saying, it is on Embraer 145 executive jet. Next button. And it has deep penetration offensive possibilities up till more than, I cannot tell the ranges, but suffice to understand that we are very deep into the enemy countries we can see. Next. It can do it on any terrain. We have tried it over extremely dense terrains like Chabua, which is the northeast, where we have a dense foliage like Kerala. We have tried it over Himalayas because China is on the other side of the Himalayas. We have tried it over deserts, over seas, over different terrain types, and it works very fine. Next slide. And it has multiple modes. Interleaved air to air means it can track aircraft and ships at the same time. Next. Okay, now there were many things that we have introduced in the radar because this was the first time an indigenous radar for airborne applications is being developed. Not for the first time. The first time we started as a SWAC on a hack aircraft, a British aircraft with a rotodome, means a rotating antenna. Unfortunately, it met with an accident and about 11 or a dozen scientists have, martyred or they died in that accident, both of LRD and CABS, which are labs of DRDO. And this is the second exercise and we were successful this time. Therefore, we were developing multiple innovative techniques. Innovation is what? A very small idea which suddenly changes all the way you are looking at it. We are looking, one such I'll tell. There is one line in any textbook, if you see, you will see that the radar cross section or the amount of energy that comes back after the incident energy is reflected is known as the radar cross section. The radar cross section decorrelates with frequency. There is one sentence in any textbook if you see. Now we have put to use, because once it decorrelates, what happens is you get an advantage of about 5 dB. 5 dB for 5 dB is almost like 4 times. For those who are not very conversant with dB scale, about 5 to 4, about 3 to 4 times more is what 5 dB means. So we got a 5 dB advantage just because we were changing the frequency. We had this radar called weapon locating radar. When, let us suppose, Pakistan is firing a shell against India, depending on the trajectory, we can go back and find out where the shelling is happening. That's called weapon locating radar. So when we were developing weapon locating radar, we found that at low elevations, we are not able to pick up the target. And on research, it was found that the RCS is extremely low, of the order of 0.001. This is the sort of RCS of a stealth aircraft. And we were not able to pick up the targets. Then this technique we tried out for the first time. Change the frequency and look at it twice. Because the RCS is different in each look, at least one look will have a higher RCS. That is the premise. And therefore, the probability that you detect it increases. This is exactly what has happened. And the same thing is implemented in primary radar also. There is one small aircraft called Hawk. A Hawk aircraft is a trainer aircraft for fighter pilots. We were flying a Hawk aircraft and we used to get about 165 kilometers as against about 185 which we should get. And then we introduced this frequency agility. Suddenly we saw that we are getting more than 240 kilometers. That is the sort of a small innovation is going to give you as an advantage. All you have to see is where that lies, and that requires what I am talking about as concentration. Okay, next slide. So the other problem what we face generally is that there will be a lot of other detections that come into the radar which not really are from the real target. Now we are seeing a lot of muck coming. How do we remove them? Very simple. If it is not coming from a target, it should not come immediately next time, because they are, they are decorrelated, what you call in radar parlance. So this technique we have used, and you can see from the right to left, left to right, how much reduction we could get in the number of detections that we are looking from a radar. And that's maybe about 100 times less. That's approximately 100 times less. We call it as 2 orders less. 2 orders less detections we got, and the radar has performed exceedingly well, even over the Himalayas, which is the most difficult terrain anyone can see, because the average altitude is almost 6 kilometers. That means if you fly at 8 kilometers, you are really flying at 2 kilometers altitude. So low is your flight. Next slide. And some of the slides, you can see we are tracking hugely maneuvering targets. On the left-hand side of the top, I'll show it again. That's a Su-30 doing maneuvers. And we were tracking two Su-30s in the left bottom corner, you can see, in a dense foliage condition under the northeast forests. And next slide. So the one which you have seen is the top one, which is doing about 20 maneuvers, 5G each. When we say 5G maneuver, I hope you understand. 1G we are about, let's say, 70 kgs. At 5G we are 350 kgs. You cannot lift your hand. In an aircraft, I was traveling at 2G. The turns generally we take in commercial aircraft are very benign. When we go in a little, Air Force aircraft, even at 2G you cannot lift your hand because it will become double the weight. So there it is doing 5G, 8G, 9G, and the one which you see there on the right bottom, that is the AWNC flying, red color, and the yellow one is a Mirage, which is doing a 9G. 9G means he would be weighing, a 50-kilo man will be weighing 450 kilos. But generally pilots are trained to do that. But you can see 9G maneuvers being handled by the aircraft without any issue on the right-hand bottom. On the left bottom, you can see two aircraft flying very close to each other, and still they are picked up as two different targets. This is known as the resolution of the radar, and they are very close by tip to wingtip flying, but still you pick up as two different targets. Next slide. And I told you that we were doing air-to-sea tracking. You see the number of detections that come out of sea, huge. Now, they are all false alarms. That means they are not true target detections. Now, you have to pick up the target. So what we do, instead of one detection, you look for 4 or 5 detections. They should come continuously with a certain range and range rate, and only then will you say it is a target. We have used it. It's nothing big deal, because if you think for a while, you will get it for yourself. But that is an innovation. It is always a simple thing. And that's where you see such a huge clutter background. You still are tracking a ship without dropping it. Next slide. And in the next slide is shown is how we are tracking a ship as well as the aircraft simultaneously. Means it's happening together. We are flying along the Mangalore coast. As you can see, we fly to Mangalore coast and fly along to the southern tip in the black line. And the blue lines of our aircraft and the red lines are ships, both tracked simultaneously. Next slide. This is a very critically important application. Now, if I have time, sir, I want to show you the development cycle of Uttam. I don't know whether the time permits or not. At the end, I will come back to Uttam, come back to this slide. If the time permits, I want to show a small video how we went on developing the Uttam radar for LCA. Today, it is also going as Virupaksha radar on Su-30 midlife upgrade, and probably is the biggest radar to be developed anywhere in the world, which has the maximum range, almost 1.5 times more range than its nearest radar like the Raptor aircraft, that is F-22, which has a big radar, but it is 1.5 times more range than Raptor itself, not just F-35. F-35 is a single engine, Raptor is a dual engine aircraft, a bigger aircraft. So this is how we went on with the development. I'll come back to the video if time permits. Next slide. Now I'll come to what we are doing right now in underwater domain, because as earlier days, it started with land fights, then it progressed to air. Now tomorrow's fighting is going to be underwater domain. It is going to be the submarines, because in Indian waters you cannot detect a submarine till it is 10 kilometers close to any one of your sensors. That is the sort of ranges that we are talking today. And but all these submarines have two technological advances. One is they are nuclear submarines. Two is they have nuclear warheads, means they have missiles which can carry nuclear warheads, so they are very, very potent. Therefore, it is imperative that we have to detect them early. And all our work today is towards how to enhance the range of our sonars. And in the coming days, we want to look at least a couple of tens, if not more. Next slide. Next slide. It so happened that there was one mishap during the 1971 war when one of our frigates, Kukri, was shot down by, it was torpedoed by a submarine I forgot the name, of Pakistan, which fueled the development of an indigenous sonar, because that ship had a British sonar which wasn't working, and that was the reason why it was torpedoed. So the man who led the development is Arogya Swami Paul Raj. How many of you would have heard his name? Mostly the entire electronics people will hear his name in any case. He was a part of NPOL. Whatever he has developed as MIMO technology, today is powering all our mobile phones, be it here or be it in the US, because all the 4G and 5G, they use MIMO technology, and he is the inventor of the MIMO technology other than the sonar. And this sonar, which is called APSO, is the first indigenous sonar which is to go on to ships, and today all indigenous submarines and most of the ships, they carry indigenous sonars. That's where we stand. Next slide. There were many inventions that have gone into Dr. Paul Raj. He is a Padma Vibhushan. This sonar development, and one of them includes adaptive nulling. If anyone who is into array processing, they will know what is adaptive nulling. You put a null where you in the direction of non-targets and maximize the target energy. That's the technique what is there, but he has pioneered that in India. Not just pioneered in India, later on along with Thomas Calicut. The name sounds not Indian, but he is an Indian. He is again an Indian. Between them, they have developed what is supposed to be the best adaptive nulling procedures called Spirit and Music. Though the students may be different, but these are the two professors who have guided the technology development in Spirit and Music today, which are the main things that are used in MIMO communication. Next. So, next slide. And that is where we stand. We have sonars both for all for ships, frigates, submarines, and aircraft also. The aircraft is the airborne sonar is known as the dunking sonar. And we also have a towed array, means the array is towed by a ship, and that is used to detect targets. Next slide. Next slide. And our roadmap is shown here. And we are today at the Integrated Combat Suite, where we are integrating different multiple sensors which are on a submarine or a ship, including radar, sonar, and ESM, things like that. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, this is about our airborne sonars, and next slide. And what lies ahead under underwater domain. Last few slides. Next slide. So one is which we are working on, and you can also collaborate with us, is the cognitive digital twins, where we want to look at digital twins so that the ocean, the sensor, everything is simulated in the lab, exactly what happens in the sea. Next slide. Sometimes probably we should work together in such areas. Distributed acoustic sensing, IIT Madras and we are working together in distributed acoustic sensing, where the the fiber optic lines slide under the sea, on the seabed, will be used to detect submarines. Next slide. This is going to be a very big program that is coming in the immediate future, more than few thousands of crores. Distributed acoustic sensing, which I talked about, which gives cues, and we have also looking at multi-static sonar cueing using this DAS system. And I wish that your institute also joins us in multi-static, because this is one fertile area where we are starting anew. Next slide. AI driven, because nowadays we don't look at a single sensor, we are looking at multiple sensors and their data coming to a common node. And if this common node has AI data, AI sensor fusion, the advantages of AI and sensor fusion together can be used to get the best possible output for interception. Next slide. Okay, we have other drone technologies also underwater, where we are starting working based on underwater communication. We are now looking at a few tens of kilometers. GPS in the space is what we are trying to emulate, GPS underwater. Similarly, mobile communication, we are also trying it underwater. These are the new things that we are trying in the coming days. And I wish that academia also is along with us. Next slide. A few more similar such things together. And next slide. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk. I think the time doesn't permit me to show you the video, which I wanted to otherwise show you how Uttam development has happened. An interesting video for me, at least. Once again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you in this august audience, because most of you are teachers. I also come from a family of teachers. I know the importance of a teacher for a society. That is why in Indian culture, teacher is always put at the high pedestal, immediately after the two parents. So I wish you a very happy Foundation Day. And I wish this institute, as Sir was saying, grows leaps and bounds and come into the top 5-6 of the best institutes of the country. And tomorrow, where we see Indian institutes are competing for the top 50 spaces in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are truly enriched by your insights and experience in radar technology. Today, we are privileged to have amongst us Ms. Soumya Keshavarao, granddaughter of Dr. M.V. Keshavarao. Soumya ji, we request you to join us on stage and share your memories. We also have a small video, so let's have a look at it.
very good morning to the respected director, the distinguished members here on the stage, and everyone here in the audience, the alumni, the staff, the faculty, students. I'm really very fortunate, and I'm at a loss to tell you all how happy I am here to be representing my grandfather and everyone in my family. I thank Prasad Krishna sir for having me here. I'm just blessed, I think, from my grandfather. I have also been his student. He has taught me so many things in electrical engineering when I was a student at NIT Surathkal. Problems in Electrical Engineering by Parker Smith. The book signed by Parker Smith himself was given to me by my grandfather. He used to sit with me, and even on the day of the exam, he used to say, Soumya, let me teach you this one last concept. It was about electrical machinery, the way the slots, the conductors are arranged, the Charge motors, the induction motors, the three-phase winding. All this was explained to me in such great detail. He was so passionate about teaching. I used to wonder, even at his age of 75, 76, he used to say, come, Soumya, I'll come and teach you. And my father, Dr. Parshuram, he used to keep so many, gadgets which are not working there whenever my grandfather and grandmom used to come to our house in Surathkal. He used to sit and, take it out and start repairing it. And for days, even if it was for days together, he would patiently sit and repair it and make it work. Such an engineer he was. And he was very, very, attached to his students. There was a professor in electrical engineering at Surathkal Engineering College called Yagyanarayan Shastri. He used to come and meet my grandfather whenever he came to our home in Surathkal and say, your grandfather has been my teacher at IISc. So this is what I can tell about my grandfather. Also, one more interesting thing that I would like to share was, he was very good in classical music. He used to whistle all the kritis, the varnams, everything so beautifully. It would sound like flute. That was his ability. So not only in studies, he was very good even, in other talents. So my grandfather was a very loving, sincere, and very simple person. He never ever showed off at all that his knowledge was there so much immense, and also he would always be there for us. I really thank my grandfather, and I think I'm blessed to be here among you all today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your memories. Now we request our director to present a token of respect and gratitude to Ms. Soumya. we have an audience, a student of Dr. M.V. Keshavarao, Mr. Srinivas Nair, retired executive engineer, Calicut Regional Engineering College, and Mr. Venkatraman, first batch alumnus of Calicut Regional Engineering College. Sir, we can give the mic.
No, no. My experience is as a little bit different. Actually, I can take that. I just belong to a very nearby place, Chettagadavu, very near to this NIT Calicut. You know, actually, I am the fifth batch of the NIT Calicut. I have seen the first batch. For my special this thing to remember about Dr. Keshavarao is that actually I did not get admission at the first instance in this institute. That time it was very difficult, and I am a person from village also. And I was studying for my BSc then. Then one day, I think it was a Friday, a peon from here, that is Shivadas, and he was also my colleague afterwards. He came to my house with a letter telling that I am admitted in REC Calicut. It is a late admission, and we have to close it. It is now September. So the principal wants you to meet him at his house the next day, the Saturday, if you are coming. Otherwise, we have to close the admission. I told him, I am very much coming. Then the next day I came. Then I went to his house because as told by this person. And I was waiting outside, and he came out and he told me, see, I was looking about the list. Actually, that time there was certain quota for each state. And then Kerala quota was 50%, that has already been exceeded. And you actually don't have the eligibility to get it. But when I was looking at the list, I found that in the Kerala, you are the next person to get it. And this is a very late admission, and September we are going to close it. So now this particular seat belongs to an Orissa student. But we do not know whether the Orissa man will come or get it. And especially because I want somebody from nearby Panchayat to get admission here. I think you are the first person to get admission from the nearby Panchayat. I like that you are coming. I was really thrilled by what he told. Because but for him, I would not have got the admission, because it has to go to the Orissa, and if it was this time, probably you would have been in trouble telling a lot of stories. But then he gave me and he told me, you go ahead with the join this week itself, don't delay. So and thereafter, because I am a nearby person, notably known, because the first person of nearby Panchayat. Whenever he meets me, I used to wish him, and then he was remembering all through. And then 1967 he was going because of some political pressure. I was very sad, and I went to his house, and then I cannot remember it even now. I can. Then he was saying, no, don't get feelings like that. After all, we have to go like that. So he was a very loving person. That is what I want to tell you. But nothing else. There are so many other.
Respected director, other distinguished guests, friends. I was studying in the first batch of REC. So Dr. Keshavarao and I started together in this college, institute. And I think I was seeing your mother quite often. He used to take her to beach and all. So, and he was a very kind-hearted man. It's a very lovable person. So that is a rare quality for a principal, but he was that type. So I was doing mechanical, he was teaching electrical and principal's duty. So I don't have that much contact, but he was a sincere man. That is, I can say, and the college was fortunate to get him from Trivandrum. He was a director of technical education there, and he resigned that and came over and joined. Actually, before him, there was a special officer, Mr. Raja Raman. He was instrumental in doing all this surveying and taking over the land and other things. He was also a good person, but he took over as director of technical education in Trivandrum. So those are the old stories. And Mr. Patantanu Pillai, Chief Minister of Kerala, was the who inaugurated this in 1961. So Kerala was fortunate to get the, Calicut at least was fortunate to get this college here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tea and coffee are served outside the hall. You are requested to use the back gate to access the lobby area. We now move to the special address by the guest of honor. Friends, it's my privilege to introduce Mr. Shailesh Shetty, a proud alumnus of NIT Calicut, Mechanical Engineering batch of 1985. He recently retired as the Chief Operating Officer of Kirloskar Systems, bringing with him over 3 decades of rich experience across the automobile industry, spanning Tata Motors, TVS, and more than 21 years at Toyota Kirloskar, where he served as Vice President, overseeing sales, HR, governance, and more. Today, he works as an independent business consultant, guiding organizations towards profitability and sustainability. Back in college, he also led as the athletics captain, a role he credits for shaping his journey. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Professor Prasad Krishnan, Dr. Sheshagiri, Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya from Chenmai Mission, Kasargod, Professor Sunita Register in charge, Dr. Preeti Navneet, and I'm overwhelmed to see Dr. Nambudri and Dr. Sridharan. Respected faculty members, families who have come here, staff and employees of NITC, and my dear students. It's indeed an honor and privilege to be part of this function today and to be part of this college during my times. There are indeed a lot of memories, very good ones, and of course, very notorious ones too, being students at that point of time. But let me share 2 thoughts with you, 2 memories. You always hear a phrase called second to none. This is a very standard cliche statement, second to one, second to none. Me and my batchmate Lazar have personally experienced this. So let me tell you this part of the story. We were part of the college cutlery team and we were into mace fighting. So previous year we were the university championship, and the current year when the tournament was happening, so we were going to take part in the mace fighting. But we realized that no one is taking part in the fencing. Fencing, mace is the gada, what Bhima uses, and the fencing is this sword fighting. So both of us thought, yes, since no one is taking part, let us take part, and at least we are secured a first place. Being overconfident, we did not practice much. Of course, we knew very, very basic. So on the day of the tournament, it was a group thing. We had to go and demonstrate. Looking at a performance, the judge decided that these guys cannot be given a first place at all. And they declared us as the second winners. So this is one incident where though we felt bad, it was very embarrassing not getting the first place in spite of being the only participants. But we were second to none. So that's... The second memory for me is about my maths challenge. I came from the Gujarat quota, and Gujarat, at that point of time, it was very good in physics, but the syllabus in maths was we did not have differentials and calculus as a part of our curriculum. So when I landed up in the class, maths class, I think Professor Suleiman was teaching at that point. He started, and in RSC that time it was more than the basics of the differential calculus. I was sitting in the class just unable to understand anything at all. And I was getting desperate because the whole of the engineering is based in mathematics. And here I was Mathematics was my favorite subject, and here I'm not able to understand anything. Almost 2 weeks passed. We used to go to the library, and in the first test, I got the highest marks in my life. That is about 20 out of 100. It was so frustrating. Then I had a roommate called Kashyap. He said, I'll teach you the maths. So fortunately, he took the initiative, and maybe he worked on me for 2 months, and somehow I could get on par, sort of thing. But the twist was not that. So on the day of the examination, first semester final exam, maths was the first paper. And one day before the examination, I fall sick. And by the morning, I am having 103 and 104 degree temperature. So all my roommates decided that I should be admitted in the health center near the canteen. So the examination was at 9 o'clock or 9:30, and they put me in the health center at 8:30. And typically being a student who's always focused on studying, I felt very, very, very uncomfortable because 8:30 they put me and left off. They said, okay, it's okay to skip the exam because your health is not good. I was very restless. So 9 o'clock the examination started. At 9:15 I was so restless. The moment the doctor or the nurse stepped out, I ran out from the health center. I somehow reached the examination hall at 9:30 and finished my paper. Fortunately, I passed. The point thing was, if you're determined about if you're determined and focused, I think whatever obstruction comes in your life, you can overcome that. I was a very average student among the NITians because we had a lot of very intelligent students, but my focus equally was in sports. I was the secretary of Aero Modeling Club, IPF, so whatever activity was there, I used to take it up. So after graduation, I joined TVS Motors. It was in Suzuki Motorcycles at that time. It is an excellent company where those experience of sales gave me a foundation for my long-term career. I was one of the students who took sales as my profession because I wanted sales, not because I liked sales or not was an extrovert, because something I realized that I was very weak in communication and little shy in interacting. So I said, let me take up sales because by force I will turn into an extrovert. So 12 months or 15 months into sales, fortunately I was given sales since I requested for sales. So about 12 to 15 months into the sales, my boss realized that I was not good in sales. So he said, since you have engineering qualification, you get into service. It was so frustrating because I wanted sales, and here's like, I knew that I was not good in sales, and I could understand it, but it was so demotivating to get removed from sales and put in service. Fortunately, to my good luck, 12 months later, the boss changed. And the new boss who came, he said, anyone who has any experience of sales, please come within the company. So that's how I got back into the sales. And after that, it has been no looking back for me. My whole career has been 80% in sales. Subsequent to that, maybe the universe helped me, since I wanted sales so badly, so universe helped me get back the sales. So there is something called a cosmic energy, which I believe in. After that, I joined Tata Motors. For 6 years, I was there. And finally, after 14 years experience, I joined Toyota Kirloskar Motors in 1999. Though the first day I came into the office, they said, you have 14 years experience, good, we have taken you not because of that, maybe because of your aptitude and attitude we have taken you. So please unlearn everything. We had to shed, and this process of unlearning is not so easy because after 15 years of experience, you come with that luggage, 15 years experience I have. And they said you have to adopt the Toyota way. The Toyota way is basically about continuous improvement. So in Toyota, what happens, if you are at 70, let us say even if you are at 40, 50, 60%, as a mark, but if your graph is upward, they are very happy about it. But if you are 90% student, for example, and if your graph is flat, they don't appreciate it. They said, wherever you are, you have to push yourself to the next thing. So there's a saying in Toyota which says we have to squeeze water from a dry towel. So that's the philosophy we push us all into that. So after my retirement, I retired in 2021. I joined Kirloskar Systems Limited as the CEO for 2 years. Kirloskar Systems is a JV partner for Toyota in India. That has been my career till now. So if you ask, so when I think myself, what did I learn after leaving NIT? Because the journey after that has been almost 40 years. From my perspective, I'm thinking all of us today in the social media, internet world, everyone knows everything. So from my perspective, I realized that the college and corporate are two different worlds. The dynamics are totally different. College is a place where 90%, I would say, intelligence wins. The higher you score, you are ranked better, the thing. But a corporate world is intelligence plus plus. There's another alpha factor which is required. To give an example, a college would be like a pipe, parallel pipe. So whatever input you do, output would come that way. So based on your effort, if 100 students come into the class, based on the effort, 100 students will come out. But the corporate is like a pyramid. Whatever goes into the pyramid, the top is, you cannot reach the top because there's a constraint over there. So and the people who reach the top are not the most intelligent ones. So here is where the plus factor comes. It's about leadership, it's about communication. I'm just naming a few. People management, conflict or crisis management, ethics, and strategic thinking. And that is where, for me, my sports captainship or the aero modeling club has taught me. So when I was in REC Calicut, NIT now, the learning was in two places for me. One was inside the classroom and one was outside the classroom. A lot of people say that sports is good for physical health, but I have a different take on it. Sports is one area where, for example, in a year you take part in 2 or 3 tournaments. So for almost about 6 to 7 months, you're practicing. And each day you push yourself to improve better. At the end of your practice, you take part in a tournament, and the whole result is declared in about, if it's athletics, within few minutes, the decision is over. The whole effort of your practice, the result you get in 2 minutes. And if you don't get a podium position, it's so upsetting. I don't say upsetting from upsetting point of view, but you get little up. But what happens, you will never find a sportsman who has lost in sports to carry his regret or upset the next day. He decides, next day I'm going to come back into the field, put more effort, and improve myself. And this is what actually sports has taught me in my corporate world also. Because sometimes in the corporate world, life is not always about success. There are also a lot of failures, struggles. So whenever I had to face a failure or a struggle, how to handle that, the sports in the field has taught me gracefully. So which I learned was to have an owner's mindset as an employee. Don't work as an employee, but work as an owner in whichever organization you have. So this is the story which someone told me, which I always carry with me. There were 2 friends. So one day the MD of the company comes to an officer's colony, and for that officer's home for lunch. So all his neighbors are very surprised. They said, "How come you know the MD of the company? He's such a big man, and you are just an officer or a middle management person." So he says, both of us joined the company on the same day in the same batch. So the friends asked him, what happened? He said, we were getting, I'm just putting the salary as we were getting 2,000 rupees a month. The only difference was I was working for the money and he was working for the company. So there's a lot of difference between working for the salary and working for the money. So I would say to everyone, always work for the company, because what happens is, as we go along, something called branding happens. We know products. they get branded. For example, Nescafe, you know, it's a good coffee, and every bottle you take, there's a reliability, the quality is the same. Similarly, human beings also get branded in the circle of friends in the corporate. This guy is a short-tempered guy. This guy, you can trust him. This guy, whatever work he does, it is accurate, or whatever work he does is not accurate. So when you work as an owner, you will have your own struggles, but your branding is that this guy is a problem solver, he's reliable. So that perception helps you in your career in a long way. There's one more story which I'll take time, so which stayed with me for a long time. Somewhere I heard this in my middle 40s. Build your life with care. I'm sure you must have heard this, but let me share this. The story of a person called Ramu, who was a mason or a carpenter. So this person, after working for almost 40 years or 35 years, he went to his supervisor and boss says, I want to retire. I have my grandchildren, I want to go back to my village. So his boss tells him, it's fine for you to retire, but build one more house for me. So hesitantly, Ramu, he has no choice, but he having worked, he could not refuse. He says, okay, sir, I'll build. So he starts building that house. And his mind is not there. And he is half-heartedly building this house. And finally, he completes the house and goes to his boss and says, sir, the house which you wanted is complete, now let me go and retire. The supervisor at that point of time gives the key of the house to Ramu and says, this is the gift from a company to you. That is the time he realizes that if only I had known that this was going to be my house, I would have built with lot more care, lot more attention to details. So I think each of us as a student, everyday activity, be it a habit, be it a choices, be it our effort, is laying the house, laying each brick of a house of future. So give your best every day. Sometimes the best may not be 100%, but it's okay, you keep giving your best. And this last one is, this is what my supervisor in Tata Motors said. He gave me a financial advice, because most of us when we work, he said, save first and then spend. Most people, generally when you are young, saving is salary minus expense. He said, flip it, change the equation. Salary minus saving should be your expense. And why I say this, because saving from initial age itself is very, very important. It's not that suddenly when you join a company, you feel that rush of freedom, and somewhere in between your 40s or 50s, and you think that's a long way to go. And you realize that when you're in 40s or 50s, I have not invested or saved for the future. So I'm sure all these stories you must have heard a million times in different versions. And today's world is about knowledge, which is free and abundant. But wisdom is rare. Like doctor said, common sense is rare. So what is wisdom from my perspective? Wisdom is putting knowledge into practice. So my learning has been be wise, not just knowledgeable. Thank you for your time and patience. And it's been an honor to be part of this function. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your inspiring journey and words with us. We are also blessed to have with us today Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya from Chinmaya Mission. She is a young monk of the Chinmaya Mission. An MBA graduate, she completed the rigorous Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya in 2022. She now serves at Chinmaya Mission, Kasaragod, as Secretary of Chinmaya Vidyalaya and State Coordinator of the Gita Chanting Competition. A dynamic youth guide, she inspires youngsters to live India's timeless wisdom while engaging with today's challenges, firmly believing that true nation building begins with inner transformation. Madam, we humbly invite you to address and bless the gathering.
Om
समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. Hari Om. My humble pranams to one and all present here. I'm very happy to be here in the NIT on the Foundation Day. As we all know, NIT is one of the best institutions of our nation where the best brains of our nation is groomed. And my congratulations and best wishes to all who dedicate their sincere effort for this institution. And I'm also happy to know that a very active IK center is operating here, that is Indian Knowledge System. The Indian Knowledge System is a vast system of knowledge and practice which is developed in our Bharat over years. So in simple way, we can say Indian Knowledge System is a kind of integrated way to understand. In our Vedantic terms, we say to understand Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. Jiva, I, myself. Jagat, this whole universe or the world of experience. All the physical science, be it social science or economics or political science, everything will come under Jagat. And Ishvara, that is the absolute reality. The foundation of IK's Indian Knowledge System is Sanatana Dharma. So today I thought of briefly sharing my understanding of Sanatana Dharma through Bhagavad Gita in the spiritual context. Why Bhagavad Gita? Because the primary and authoritative text of Sanatana Dharma is Vedas. And the essence of Vedas are Upanishad. And Bhagavad Gita is the essence of that Upanishadic knowledge. So to understand our Sanatana Dharma is very good, or the best source is learning Bhagavad Gita. So as in every Bharatiya, for us it is very important to understand what is Sanatana Dharma. The terms, we'll see the word meaning of Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means, most probably we all know Sanatana, that which exists, that which is everlasting or eternal. So what is Sanatana Dharma then? Then it is eternal Dharma. Then a question arises, what is Dharma? No, to understand the meaning of Dharma, we can write pages and pages. So today we will see the meaning in a spiritual context. In the Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya defines Dharma as Jagataha Sthiti Karanaha, the very cause of this universe. So when we observe this universe, we can understand this universe revolves around a particular law. Everywhere. So we can understand there is a cosmic law works. If there is a law, there should be a lawmaker. The logic is like, if there is a creator, if there is a creation, there should be a creator. But the problem is, when we try to conceive the idea of a creator, we will tend to give a form of a human. Because the logic is, my father and mother created me, I look very similar to my parents. So same way, when we try to apply that logic and conceive the idea of a creator, we tend to give a form of a human. No. When I say a creator, it is the cosmic consciousness or the supreme intelligence, what is the cause of this entire cosmic law. So we can see in the world, so every living being have got its own sahaja vasana, that is the natural instinct, and it lives its life according to that natural instinct, and that natural instinct will finally align with that cosmic law. When you see this cosmic law have got its own system to maintain the equilibrium of this universe. I recently come across an article. In that article I have read that recently we have found a new fungus in the Amazon forest that can consume the plastics, can dissolute the plastic. And also I have been told that in Chernobyl, where the nuclear explosion had happened, there also they have found a fungus which can consume the radiation energy, radiation rays, and convert into the energy. So we know in today's world this radiation as well as the plastic is two of the major problems today's world face. So hearing this, first thing came to my mind is the sloga from Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yukhe yukhe. So when we try to conceive an idea of avatar, many people tend to deny it, how it is possible. But when we observe closely this universe, every aspect, every moment to moment, to maintain the equilibrium of this universe, that cosmic consciousness or the supreme intelligence keep on taking avatars. So every living being in this universe, in this world, act according to that cosmic law with their sahaja vasana, that is natural instinct. Only one species lives contrary to that. That is, we all know, we human beings. That is where the significance of Sanatana Dharma and the spirituality. Because this human species, the human society, or we, are very unique while comparing to other species. Now we, the human, is considered as a very supreme being. In Shastra says, Durlabham Manusha Janma. To get a human birth itself is very rare. So why? What is that unique about the human? For a human, his unique capacity is that he can conceive a new idea which he have not seen or experienced, but he can make it into a reality. That is the very unique capacity of human being. Because all other living beings can act or live only according to his natural instinct. So what we see all around us, be it the technology, be it art, music, science, everything is all the result of that unique capacity of human being. Actually, with this unique capacity, the human society should have been the protector of this world. But this unique capacity itself makes a human arrogant and make him very selfish. So when all other living being acts or lives according to its svadharma, the natural instinct, the human society always try to surpass this cosmic law or to dominate this cosmic law because of his selfishness. So there comes the necessity of human society to understand his svadharma, his or her svadharma. There comes the relevance of spirituality. Now, there are two types of science. One is physical science and the other is subjective science. The physical science, what we know, talk about all this, chemistry, physics, economics, political science, everything which is about this world. But the subjective science is about our own self. In Sanskrit, we say spiritual science as a Adhyatmika Shastra. Adi Atma, meaning it is which is pertaining to Atma. The culmination of spirituality is understanding myself, I as that cosmic consciousness. But the very beginning or the first stage of spirituality is understanding myself, meaning understanding my body, mind, and intellect. Because this body, mind, intellect are the instruments given to us to act in this world. So it is very important to understand that instrument. For a musician, before he start performing, he will make sure his instrument is very clear and it gives the correct note. Only then he would be able to perform in a better way. It's the same way as a human being, for us to act in this world in an efficient way, it is very important to understand our body, means our capacity of this sthula sharira, this physical body, and also our emotion, our mind. What are my likes and dislikes? What is my triggering point? And my intellect. Like, am I a creative person? Am I an analytical person? Am I an artistic person? So, for a human being, the first step to spirituality is to understand his body, mind, and intellect, so that a person can understand or determine his swadharma. What is swadharma? Swadharma is it's natural instinct. We will be drawn to something naturally and which will enable us to live in a harmony. So as a human society, it is very important to understand our swadharma. That is what Bhagavad Gita also says, swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. Only by performing swadharma, we can attain the supremacy. So how can we determine my swadharma? So I will share few factors you can consider while determining our swadharma. The first point is to understand my swadharma, to determine swadharma. First point is it should be according to our inclination. Meaning, we all will have a particular interest in some subject, or we will have doing something which, even without a monetary benefit, even without an appreciation, we will be happy to doing it. So first thing, when we determine our swadharma, we should consider our natural inclination. Second, we should consider our temperament. In Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, known as Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, it says this universe, when the cosmic consciousness expressed through the world of matter, that is Prakriti, Trigunatmika, Prakriti, this universe start blossoming. So since this whole universe is made out of that Prakriti, even our body, mind, intellect also is made out of that Prakriti, even our thoughts also of that Prakriti. Meaning our thoughts are, our temperament of our mind is of 3 types. That is called Sattva, Raja, Tamas. So Sattva is the symptom. We can understand these gunas only by its qualities, the expression. So in every living being, in every human, all the 3 qualities will be present, but any of this one will be dominating. So if in a person Sattva Guna is dominating, we can understand by his expression, like he will be very inspired, he is very knowledgeable, he will be able to think in a clear way. And if it is a Rajoguni, meaning if the Rajoguna is dominating in one person, he will be always more desirous, more dynamic, more activity oriented. Like he cannot stay without a work. Without doing something, he cannot stay. He will be restless. That is the person who is dominated by Rajoguna. And Tamoguna. So Rajoguna is like without work, he will be restless, but Tamoguni will be restless to work. So according to our temperament also, we should opt or we should determine our swadharma. Like if you are a very sattvic person, meaning you are very calm, composed, well thought of person, so for you, you will be able to take up the field of education. As a teacher, you can become a teacher, you can become a scientist, you can become a policy maker. But you cannot become an army person. To become an army person, you should be dominated by Rajoguna, always with dynamism. So in this way, while determining our swadharma, we should consider our temperament, this sattva, rajo, tamo guna. The third point is, when we determine swadharma, we need to consider the factor that is, which class I belong to. Which class? Varna. Which Varna you belongs to. This is very conflicting and criticized topic of Sanatana Dharma. So Varna Vyavastha. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Chadur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. In today's world, most of the people think this Varna is based on, decided by the birth. No. Our Varna is decided by our Guna and Karma. So, as we all know, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Our Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda very, translate into very simple way. That is Brahmana, who is the policy maker. And Kshatriya, the executors, who execute the policies. And the Vaishya, business class. And the Shudra, working class. So, the Brahmana will be Sattva Guni. He will be dominated by the Sattva Guna. And the Kshatriya, he is always will be with the Rajoguna, that is dynamism. And a Vaishya, he can always think in numbers. And Shudra, that is, he will not be able to think of anything, but if some work is dedicated to him, and if somebody tell him like this is how this work should be done, he will do it. So in this world, in every society, we can see these 4 classes of people. So we should understand, we should introspect which class I am belong to. According to that, we should be able to determine our swadharma. And the 4th point, we should also consider which stage I am, which stage of life I am in. That is ashrama vyavastha. In our samskar, in our culture, it is also true. There are 4 ashramas: brahmacharya, student life; grihastha, family life; and vanaprastha, retirement life; and sannyasa, renunciation. So if I am into a brahmacharya, that is, if I am a student, my primary responsibility should be studying, not anything else. Everything is secondary. If I am a family man, my responsibility is also to take care of my family and to get the wealth, create the wealth, and to take care of this society. If I am into retirement, if I am into vanaprastha, if I am 60 or 70, or now we cannot calculate the age, but our Shastra says, no, after a point of time, we should not get clinched into this. We have to get retired also. Because, meaning, we have to dedicate all the responsibilities we are holding to the next generation, and we get stepped down from all the official thing and spend time on introspection, inner journey, and the sannyasa, renunciation. While determining our swadharma, we also need to consider which stages of life. And also, we need to consider the beneficiaries. When we determine our majority, we have to consider that benefit the majority of the people. I like something, my inclination is to something, but it will not benefit any of the people around me, only it will benefit myself, then I should not do that. And also, we should consider the universal values. While determining this swadharma, we should also consider the universal values. Satyam, ahimsa, shauj, all the values. Because we expect everyone, people around us, to be truthful to me. Be it my maid in the home, be it my, who constructs my home, or be it my shopkeeper, everyone. We expect everybody to be truthful. That meaning first we need to be truthful to everyone. So like we need to consider the universal values also. So while determining or deciding our Swadharma, we need to consider all these points. It is not, I will consider only my inclination and decide my Swadharma. No, it will not work. You need to consider all these points together and you have to determine your Swadharma. Why we need to insist this much on Swadharma? Because in a nation, when every individual do it's for his or her Swadharma in the right way, the rights of that people will be safeguarded. No, that is the difference between our Western culture and the Bharatiya culture. In Western culture, most of the times they focus on the rights. But in our culture, Bharatiya culture, we always focus on what is my responsibility, what is my duty to do. So, as I said, Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha. We should do our Swadharma. And Bhagavad Gita also says with what attitude we should do the Dharma, Swadharma. What is that? Karmanne vatikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palahe durbuhu mate sankosto karmani. I have got the right only to perform my duty, not to expect anything. I should not also get attached to the result or the action. What is the significance of that? Now, many people in the atheists say it is kind of imbibing the slavery in the human society. No. Karmanne vatikaraste. You have right only to do your action. Meaning, when you are doing an action, our complete energy of body, mind and intellect should be channelized to the action what we do. Not about the result. Will it get victory or will I face a failure? No, our mind, intellect or body should not be distracted to any other thought except doing that action. So that what will happen? We will be able to do our best while performing that action. So obviously the result also will be positive. So for a human society, it is very important to understand our own Swadharma and act according to that Swadharma. It will enable all of us to coexist in this world in a harmony. That is what today's world is required. So I invoke Bhagavan's and as well as Gurudev's grace and blessings upon every one of you to enable us to understand our Swadharma and live accordingly. In Chinmaya Mission, our motto is spread maximum happiness to maximum people for a maximum point of time. If you want to spread happiness, first of all, you should be a happy person. Without you be happy, you cannot spread happiness all around. So, let us understand our Swadharma, act accordingly so that we can live in harmony and happiness, so that we can spread that happiness all around the world. So with this, I conclude. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Hari Om. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, madam, for your enlightening words and blessing us.
Well, now we request our director, sir, to come forward and release the Foundation Day Souvenir, Sambhashanam 2025. May I also invite all the dignitaries on dais to join. This volume of Sambhashanam 2025 is prepared by our C Prime team. Thank you. The QR code is posted here on the screen just to get the access of the soft copy of the Sambhashanam. May I now invite Professor M.S. Sunida, Registrar in Charge, to deliver the felicitation speech.
Honorable Director, Professor Prasad Krishna, Dr. Duri Sheshagiri, the Director of NPOL Cochin, Mr. Sailesh Shetty, the alumnus and former Chief Operating Officer of Kirloskar Toyota, Madam Brahmacharani Disha Chaitanya from Chinmaya Mission, Dr. Preeti Navneet, CPREM Chairperson, and Madam Soumya Keshav-Das, the granddaughter of our first principal, Professor M.V. Keshwaravu, and Venkataraman sir, our first student of here, alumni, the REC Calicut. We are really honored to have you, sir, here, and madam. And our retired faculty and staff, Professor K.B.M. Nambuduripad is here with us. And my dear faculty colleagues, staff, students, and my dear friends. It is my privilege and honor to stand before you today to celebrate our 65th Foundation Day of the Institute. It is a momentous occasion that allows us to reflect on our past, celebrate our present achievements, and look forward to a promising future. It is a reminder of the vision and dedication of those faculty and staff whose unwavering commitment to education and the betterment of young minds set in motion a legacy that we are privileged to inherit. As we gather here today, we pay tribute to their foresight and determination which have shaped our institution into what it is today. It is essential that we take a moment to acknowledge the hard work and the dedication of our faculty and staff who continue to nurture the seeds planted by our founders. They provide us with the knowledge, guidance, and support that are essential for our growth and development. It gives me immense pleasure to highlight some of the significant milestones achieved by the Institute administration over the past years. Major recruitment drives for teaching and non-teaching staff have been undertaken, whereby the regular faculty strength has reached up to 419. And I am proud to say that with a demographic diversity of 97% across the Indian states. The strength of regular non-teaching staff also increased to 312, which shall ensure continuity and efficient administrative support. We are also proud to inform you that there is representation from more than 20 states among the staff, bringing a true nationalistic structure to the institute, reflecting the rich diversity and fostering a rich blend of culture. The average age of the faculty being 43 and that of the staff being less than 40. The institute continues its journey towards excellence with overwhelming support and dedication from each and every faculty, staff, students, and alumni. We started this REC Calicut only with 3 departments and only 125 students. And now you know, apart from the conventional 15 departments and under the dynamic leadership of our director, Prasad Krishna, we could establish about 26 multidisciplinary centers and 11 thematic centers apart from 15 departments. And these multidisciplinary centers and thematic centers are established for the multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and intradisciplinary research, which aligns with NEP 2020 policy, and I am sure that in the near future will become a MERU, a multidisciplinary education research university in the country, ensuring seamless networking with the best institutions and industries across the nation and globe. The institute builds networks with researchers, professionals, alumni, and corporates to have a broader academic audience. For us, excellence is a journey and not the final destination. Today, you can see we are conducting a skylight exhibition for showcasing the achievements and contributions of all the departments and centers in the campus. It is arranged at the main campus. I request all of you to visit all the stalls. The campus is also witnessing an exponential growth with more than 8,000 students in the campus, which is the largest number of students in any NIT in the country here. It is really challenging to provide infrastructural and other required facilities to the campus community. Overcoming all such constraints, the institute administration has embarked on key projects like revamping of power water systems, environmentally sustainable waste disposal systems, improved sports, the Swasthyam, the new gym for the students, faculty and staff, Smitham, the new dental care facility, the modernized swimming pool Jaladi, and better amenities like canteens, coffee shops, open areas, etc., so as to enhance the learning and living ecosystem in the campus. Last year, we have started the scheme of benevolent fund for the faculty and staff of the institute, which will support the medical needs of the employees. Let me also share some of the major infrastructural developments occurred or planned at our prestigious institute in the last year. These include new academic block, research and innovation park, guest house upgradation, new ladies hostel, new healthcare center, etc. Most of this commitment is through loans from HEFA, and work of most of the facilities are in progress. The institute also gratefully acknowledged the financial assistance received from our alumni during the last year, which includes about 47 lakhs from 1999 graduating batch for the new healthcare center, then 5.5 lakhs by MCA 99 batch students for Nivahiga portal, then about 7.5 lakhs from Rose Catherine Kanjiratingal, 2007 CSC graduate for the enhancement of Alishu K Memorial Award, then about 1.9 lakhs for the mango tree plantation in the campus by Anil K Tripathi, a 1983 graduate, and about 100 lakhs for the Center for Space Science and Technology by Dr. Subbarao Pauluri from Anand Technologies and Dr. J. Kamalakar, ex-ISRO Directorate, and about 12 lakhs for the World Nitka Meet Travel Support by the Nitka, and about 30 lakhs support for GCDA Conference in Seoul, a 1985 graduate group from different sources like HPPCL, TCS, BPCL, etc. And a total of 204 lakhs we have received from the alumnus. Thanks to all the alumni chapters. We sincerely thank for your continuous contribution to enhance various facilities in the campus. And we also request the alumni to continue your financial assistance to achieve our goals in the future as well. With continued support from students, parents, employees, alumni, Government of India, state government and other stakeholders, we are sure that our students shall have the best, happy and memorable experience in their life. To conclude, let me thank all the staff and faculty who have reached here, the superannuated faculty and staff who have reached here accepting our invitation, which really makes this day a memorable one. And my special thanks to the organizing committee members led by our Dr. Preeti Navaneet, all the staff and faculty, volunteers, students, everyone who are behind this event for conducting this event as successful today. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, we would like to request our Honorable Director, sir, Professor Prasad Krishna, to felicitate our chief guest, Dr. Duvori Seshagiri, and our guests of honor, Mr. Sailesh Shetty and Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanyaji, with a memento and a punada. honor. Yes. Shailesh Shetty, sir. Guest of honor, Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya ji. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams. Now we request Professor Ravi Varma MK, sir, Dean, International Alumni Corporate Relations, to come forward on dais and announce the Distinguished Alumni Award for 2025. Over to you, sir. Yeah. Nikhil, sir.
Respected Director, Professor Prasad Krishna, Chief Guest, Dr. Duri Sheshadri, Guest of Honor and our esteemed alumnus, Sri Shailesh Shetty, Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya, Registrar in Charge, Professor M. S. Sunita, Dr. Preeti, Organizer, distinguished guests, deans, HODs, esteemed alumni, and my dear colleagues and students. I am grateful for the opportunity to gather and celebrate the accomplishments of our institute's graduates. There are 7 categories of awards, and the core purpose of this is to recognize alumni who have made significant contributions to the alma mater, their community, and their chosen field. The awards are a testament to the impact and legacy of the institute's graduates. The following are the recipients in different categories of the Distinguished Alumni Awards of 2025. Category Technology Innovation Excellence, Dr. Arun Mule. Dr. Arun Mule did his BTech in Mechanical Engineering 1988. Presently, he is Chief Engineer and Fellow at Boeing Research. He is also a Boeing Fellow and ASME Fellow. For Academic Excellence, Dr. Govindan Parail. He did his BTech in Electrical Engineering in 1977. Presently, he is the Dean of Patel College of Global Sustainability and Professor in School of Interdisciplinary Global Studies at University of South Florida. For excellence in public services and other walks of life, Sri Jagdish Chandra Sharma, IAS, retired. He is IAS cadre in Himachal Pradesh. He did BTech in Mechanical Engineering in 1985. His last position was Additional Chief Secretary and Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister, IT, State Taxes and Excise in the state of Himachal Pradesh. For Entrepreneurial Excellence category, we have 3 distinguished alumni. Matthew Taranil did his BTech in Civil Engineering in 1988. He is founder and CEO of Bloom Companies LLC in Wisconsin, United States. It was started in 2007 and specializes in engineering and infrastructure management services in the USA. Jijo G. John did BTech in Computer Science and Engineering in 1991. He is founder and CEO of Calpine Group of Companies. It was started in 2003 and works in life sciences and bioinformatics domain. Dr. Jafar Moidu did BTech in Computer Science and Engineering in 1992. He is founder and CEO of JMR Group of Companies. It was started in 1998 and is spread across fintech, agri-tech, sports, and wellness. In managerial excellence category, we have 2 awardees. Nilesh Narwarkar did BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 1993. Presently, he is the CEO and whole-time director of JSW Cement. Renju Jos Kurula did BTech in Production Engineering in 1998. Presently, he is president, NOE Digital and IntelliServe, a IIoT digital platform for energy industry. For Emerging Alumni Leader Award, we have Dr. Rose Catherine Kanjiratingal. She did BTech in Computer Science and Engineering in 2007. Presently, she is Senior Research Scientist in Meta Inc. She did PhD from Carnegie Mellon University, USA. Excellence in Institutional Development and Alma Mater Services category. T. Madhav Das did BTech in Electrical Engineering in 1984. Presently, he is whole-time director and senior vice president utilities in Larsen and Toubro Limited. He is also equally fit in our Managerial Excellence Award category. Sudhakaran KS did BTech in Mechanical Engineering in 1975. Presently, he is chairman and managing director of Sanpar Industries Private Limited, specialized in thermal engineering products for industry and defense. He is former president of NITCA, which is National Institute of Technology, Calicut Alumni Association. I congratulate all the recipients and would like to express my pride in their achievements. I believe this will reinforce the value and strength of the alumni community and encourage continued connection and involvement with the institution and fellow alumni. The awards will be given on December 27th, which is our Alumni Day celebrations for the year 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we are glad to announce about the release of the logo of the book on Bhagavad Gita, written by Dr. K.B.M. Namudripad, former professor of mechanical engineering at NIT. We request Dr. Ashish Avasthi, chairperson, Center for Indian Knowledge Systems, to lead this ceremony. We also request Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanya ji to do the honor of releasing this logo. We are also privileged to have Dr. K.B.M. Namudripad ji with us, and we request you, sir, to join on stage. Okay. All right, sir. All right, sir. Not sure.
visit NIT Calicut, where I spent several beautiful years. And now I'm particularly glad that this humble attempt of mine has gained recognition, though in a small circle. I ventured to write, although my own background is not very much to write home about. I ventured to write not about Bhagavad Gita, but a kind of invitation for others to read this. I am not good enough to tell others about this, but I found that this is very, very nice. And I'm asking my friends and prospective readers to have a look at Bhagavad Gita. We followed the Western education system and did not have the benefit of any of these, we were not introduced to any of these concepts. But now, rather late in life, we feel that these are some areas that we neglected, and now to make partial amends to our earlier negligence, we can probably try to do this. Anyway, one particular feature of this is that this is a mixture of English and Malayalam. You know, traditionally, Sanskrit and Malayalam are mixed together to have Manipravalam, which was accepted. But the language that we speak, for all practical purposes, is neither pure English nor pure Malayalam. When you talk to our old grandmother, we struggle to speak entirely in Malayalam. Some English words start gushing in. So I think it is a natural language. It's a natural language. And I venture to write in this mixed mode. I do not know how this will be received. I hope that this will be received by my senior colleagues at least. Well, I'm particularly glad about Professor Prasad Krishna. He somehow found the funds necessary to get this printed. And I hope that this will spread far and wide. And I hope, anyway, coming back to this is just I'm always glad to come back to this REC NIT Calicut, where we spent several beautiful years. Thank you, Prasad Krishna and his team, and particularly the chief of the Center of Indian Knowledge Systems, and Dr. Verma, and Thomas Varghese, who is Varghese Thomas, who is not here at the moment, and I'm sorry if I missed some important people. But now, Professor Sridharan and everyone else. I don't know what I should say. My best teaching years are all gone. Now I keep forgetting and etc. etc. So, but no apology, I suppose, is needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the brief details on your book and work. We now move on towards the award ceremony. Let us begin this award ceremony by recognizing and appreciating the invaluable contributions of our NITC elders. For this, we request Professor Prasad Krishna to kindly honor them with a memento and ponada. Let us all warmly welcome our distinguished elders to receive this token of respect and gratitude. We would first like to call Dr. K.B. Maheshwaran, Nambodri Pad, retired professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Dr. E. Gopinathan, retired professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Dr. E. Gopinathan, retired professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Dr. P. Shamala, retired professor, Department of Civil Engineering. Dr. R. Vijay Kumar, retired professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Dr. P. Janardhanan, retired professor, Department of Electrical Engineering. Mr. Ratnakaran Nair, TK. Mr. Somashekharan Nair, MD. Mr. Somashekharan Nair. Mr. Ashokan K. Mr. Ashokan K. Mr. Chandran PP. Mr. Balakrishnan NP. Mr. Mohan Dasan K. Mr. Balan TP. Mr. Balasubramanian T. Mr. Balachandran VV. Mr. Hassan K. Mrs. Vasanta PP. Mrs. E.K. Sumitra.
Mr. V.M. Joseph. Mr. Ramadasan K. Mr. Raman PM. Mr. Sukumaran KP. Mr. Srinivasan Nair A. Mr. Mamukoya CP. Mr. Gopalan P. Mr. Bhaskaran P. Mr. Cheruni K. Quick. Citation. Mr. Pilu KK. Mr. Bhaskaran VT. Mr. Bhaskaran VT. We are moving to the next. Mrs. Janu MT. Mr. Subramanian NK. Mrs. Shantakumari Amma PS. Mrs. Devaki P. Mrs. Kunyo Bibi. Mr. Ahmed CP. Mr. Ahmed CP.
We now take a moment to honor our esteemed colleagues who have completed 25 years of dedicated service at NIT Calicut. We invite our director to present the tokens of appreciation. Let's warmly welcome the following members to receive this honor. Shri Sudhir PR, Technical Assistant, Department of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences. Shri Abdul Razak P, Office Attendant, Center for Continuing Education and Skill Development. Shri Vasu TC, Technical Assistant, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Srimati Srija V, Technical Assistant, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. To recognize and celebrate the outstanding achievements of the wards of NITC employees, we request our esteemed director to kindly present the Proficiency Awards, which include a certificate, trophy, and cash prize. First, I would call upon Lakshmi SS, daughter of Dr. Sajit AS, Department of Civil Engineering, for scoring 98.8 in 10th standard boards. Sajid sir. Keep it closer. Fadia Rahman E, daughter of Dr. Ligia A from Department of Computer Science, for scoring 98% in her 10th boards. Ligia ma'am, if you're there, please join us. KB Sanjeev, son of Dr. S. Bhuvaneshwari from Department of Chemical Engineering for scoring 96% in his 10th boards. If parents are there, kindly join us. Bandaru Surekha, daughter of Dr. Rohini Kumar Bandaru of Department of Mechanical Engineering for scoring 95.8% in her 10th boards. Sneha Mary Shijo, daughter of Dr. Shijo Thomas from Department of Material Science for securing 99% in her 12th boards. Annlyn Elsa George, daughter of Dr. George K. Verghese of Department of Civil Engineering for scoring 98.8% in her 12th boards. S. Vinoda, daughter of Dr. V. Shaktivel, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering for securing 96.4% in her 12th boards.
We now move towards the Best Teacher Awards for 2025. The Best Teacher Award was launched last year, that is in 2024, to encourage and recognize quality teaching, research, professional achievements, and contribution of faculty members. This year, the evaluations and selections were done based on the annual performance appraisal report submitted by the faculty for the assessment year 2024. The award committee has recommended the candidates for the Best Teacher Award 2025 in the Assistant Professor category and Associate Professor category. I request our Director, Professor Prasad Krishna, to present the awards, and I also invite Mr. Ritesh A.K., Regional Manager, State Bank of India, Kozhikode, to join on the stage. I also invite Professor M.S. Sunita, Registrar in Charge, to join on the stage. In the Assistant Professor category, the Best Teacher Award 2025 goes to Dr. Basil Kuriachin of Mechanical Engineering Department. He receives a memento, certificate, and a cash prize of Rs 50,000 sponsored by the State Bank of India. Next, in the Associate Professor category, the Best Teacher Award 2025 is backed by Dr. S. Kumar Revel of the Electrical Engineering Department. He also receives a memento, certificate, and a cash prize of rupees 50,000 sponsored by State Bank of India. Congratulations to Dr. Basil and Dr. Kumar Raval, and a special thanks to Mr. Ritesh A.K., Regional Manager, State Bank of India, for joining us today. The next category of awards are the Faculty Research Awards 2025. The Board of Governors has approved the Faculty Research Awards to honor and celebrate the exceptional research achievements of our faculty members. The awards were launched on the 64th Foundation Day to recognize the significant contribution to research and development. Two distinct awards are presented, the Young Investigator Award and the Institute Research and Development Award. The Young Investigator Award is presented to faculty members under the age of 40. To be eligible, candidates must have served as the principal investigator on at least one sponsored project and have published a minimum of 3 SCI papers as a corresponding author after joining NITC. Candidates were asked to submit an innovative project proposal, and the selection committee, composed of external experts, evaluated proposals based on their innovative aspects and competence of the research and candidates' presentation. Whereas the Institute Research and Development Award recognizes faculty contributions at 3 levels: lifetime, mid-career, and junior. The award recognizes a faculty member's effort to enhance the research culture of the institute, and the key criteria include quality of publications, H-index, number and value of sponsored and consultancy projects taken as principal investigator, number of PhD students guided at NITC as the main supervisor. To present these awards, I request Professor Prasad Krishna to give the winners the award, and also request and invite Mr. A.C. Usha, Regional Head, Union Bank of India, Kozhikode, to join on stage. The winner of the Young Investigator Award for 2025 is Dr. Tamal Pramanik, Assistant Professor in the Mathematics Department. Dr. Pramanik receives a memento, a certificate, and a cash prize of 50,000 rupees, which is sponsored by the Union Bank of India. The award committee has recommended one recipient for the Institute Research and Development Award 2025. The winner is Dr. Muniyandi Shankar Lingam, Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry, and he receives this award in the Early Career category. Dr. Shankar Lingam receives a memento, a certificate, and also a cash prize of rupees 50,000, sponsored by the Union Bank of India. We congratulate Dr. Tamil and Dr. Shankar Lingam for their outstanding contributions. A special thanks to the Union Bank of India for sponsoring these awards and recognizing the excellence in faculty research at NIT Calicut.
Now it's time to wind up. So we draw the inaugural session to a close. And for that, I invite Dr. Deepthi Bendi, Vice Chairperson of C Prime, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ritesh. Respected Director, sir, distinguished guests, Madam Registrar, Deans, faculty members, staff, NITC, elders, awardees, students, alumni, dear NIT Calicut family, who are present in person and watching us on live streaming. A very good afternoon. Happy 65th Foundation Day to us. It is my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of the 65th Foundation Day of this great institute. On behalf of the organization committee, first and foremost, I extend our deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Shri Dr. Duvuri Seshagiri Garu, the director of the Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, DRDO Kochi, for delivering Dr. M.V. Keshavrao Memorial Foundation Day lecture. Your words of wisdom and stories from your experience and life have truly inspired us, sir. We're grateful for the time and thought you shared with our community today. We also warmly acknowledge the gracious presence of and felicitation by Soumya Ma'am, Soumya Keshavrao ji, the granddaughter of the late Professor Keshavrao, whose legacy continues to inspire our institute. Thank you, ma'am. We're pleased to have you with us. We're also very thankful to our guests of honor, Mr. Shailesh Shetty, our proud alumnus, for your very thoughtful address. Your story of the pre-exam is a point that most of us, in fact, many of us resonate with, and it says your just-in-time approach perhaps connected you with the theaters. Thank you very much, sir. Your alma mater is indeed proud of you. We also express our gratitude to Brahmacharini Disha Chaitanyagar for your kind presence and sharing insights on Indian knowledge system and Swadharma. Thank you very much, ma'am. On behalf of the entire institute and all our stakeholders, I express our heartful gratitude to our Honorable Director, Prasad Krishna sir, for his inspiring reflection and way forward through presenting state of the institute. It was not only the achievements of this great institute, but also the vision for the future. Thank you very much, sir. We also express our sincere gratitude to Madam Registrar for your words of felicitation and sharing the evolution and growth of this institute. Thank you, ma'am. We express our heartfelt thanks to Preeti ma'am, the chairperson of C Prime, for her warm welcome and thoughtful and empathetic steering of this entire journey of 65th Foundation Day celebrations. Thank you very much, ma'am. We're grateful to our distinguished faculty members, staff, alumni, students, and student volunteers for their wholehearted involvement in today's celebrations. A special word of gratitude to all the awardees who were honored today and long-serving members of our community and their family members. Thank you for joining us. It means a lot to us. We sincerely thank you all for your contributions. We also thank our upcoming event organizers, as well as the Center for Culture and Arts Relations, for collaborating with us and willing to present the cultural night. We request you all to join us for the cultural evening we planned for the evening. Behind all of this, a team stands tall, both on and off the cameras, behind the curtains. The 14 committees and its members comprising the faculty, staff, and student volunteers. A big thank you for your good work, commitment, and small and big sacrifices. Without it, it wouldn't have happened. Thank you very, very much, and thanks to each and every one for making this Foundation Day celebrations truly meaningful and memorable. We wish you a very good and great afternoon, a pleasant evening, and thank you for joining us for the celebrations.
I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पञ्जाब सिन्ध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वङ्गा विन्ध्य हिमाचल यमुना गङ्गा उच्चल जलधि तरङ्गा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
A small announcement. Buses have been arranged outside. You may take the service to reach the central campus. Further, with that, the inaugural session of the 65th Foundation Day celebration comes to a conclusion. We thank you